Grace's Letter to Lincoln, Chapter 5. That night, Grace carefully placed the poster of Mr. Lincoln and Mr. Hamlin against her mirror. She looked at it while she waited for Mama to come tuck her in. She studied the deep lines cut above Mr. Lincoln's mouth and the sharp edge of his chin. His mouth was closed, his lips tight in a line as straight as a split rail. "Time for your light to be out, dear," Mama said. "Good night, Mama," Grace said, snuggling down under her quilt. Mama smoothed Grace's hair and turned down the lamp. As the light dimmed, Grace thought Mr. Lincoln looked different suddenly. The growing shadows made him look as if he had grown whiskers. Grace laughed to herself. Men like Mr. Macomber wore whiskers, not men running for President of the United States. What a silly idea! When Grace awoke, she looked first at her poster. Lincoln and Hamlin stared at her. Grace smiled, remembering Honest Abe with a beard. She'd have to share that with Jenny when she told her about the poster. After school, the friends hurried to Grace's house. "I'm home, Mama," Grace called, popping her head into the kitchen. "Jenny is with me. I've just baked bread and Helen made apple butter. I'll pour some milk for Jenny." "We'll be down in a minute," Grace said. "I want to show Jenny my new poster." The girls disappeared upstairs to Grace's room. Jenny gazed at the poster without saying a word. Grace shifted from one foot to the other, patiently awaiting her reaction. "Mr. Lincoln certainly is not one of the world's most handsome men, is he?" Jenny said. "I think our banner makes him look nicer." Grace had not compared their banner to the poster. When she thought about it, she agreed with Jenny. Yet this picture was an actual image of Abraham Lincoln copied from a photograph and printed on the poster. "You're right," Grace said, "and I know what he needs. Whiskers." Jenny burst into giggles. "Whiskers? That's absurd, Grace. No president has ever had whiskers. Jenny, think. You are an artist. Imagine Mr. Lincoln with a full set of whiskers like your father's. You're right. Abraham Lincoln does need a beard." "Grace, Jenny, come down now. Your bread and butter are ready," Mama called. The bread was oven warm. The apple butter spread like hot honey. Grace was as pleased as Punch. After dinner, Grace practiced piano and then excused herself to go to bed. Grace looked at Lincoln's picture again. "I wonder if he has ever thought of growing whiskers," she thought. Her eyes lit on the special paper Grandmama had given her. All at once, Grace knew what she must do. She would write Abraham Lincoln. She would suggest that he grow a beard. Her hand shook as she placed a sheet of paper on her desk. Grace picked up her best quill pen and dipped it into the inkwell. She began writing, reading the letter out loud as she wrote. "New York, Westfield, Chautauqua County, October 15th, 1860. Honorable A.B. Lincoln. Dear Sir, my father has just come home from the fair and brought your picture and Mr. Hamlin's. I am a little girl, only 11 years old, but want you to be President of the United States very much, so I hope you won't think me very bold to write such a great man as you are." Grace stopped and put down her pen. "How can I politely ask Mr. Lincoln to grow a beard?" she thought. "I'll ask him first about his family and tell him about us, then I'll suggest the whiskers. Have you any little girls about as old as I am? If so, give them my love and tell them to write me if you cannot answer this letter. I have got 4 brothers, and part of them will vote for you anyway, and if you will let your whiskers grow, I will try to get the rest of them to vote for you. You would look a great deal better, for your face is so thin. All the ladies like whiskers, and they would tease their husbands to vote for you, and then you would be president. My father is going to vote for you, and if I was a man, I would vote for you, but I will try and get everyone to vote for you that I can." Grace stopped again and looked at the poster. "I think that rail fence around your picture makes it look very pretty. I have got a baby sister. She is 9 weeks old and just as cunning as can be. When you write, direct your letter to Grace Bedell, Westfield, Chautauqua County, New York. I must not write any more. Answer this letter right off. Goodbye, Grace Bedell." Grace put her letter in an envelope. In her best handwriting, she wrote, "The Honorable Abraham Lincoln, Springfield, Illinois. If my letter helps Mr. Lincoln get one more vote, I will have done something for him besides making the banner. But I won't tell anyone, not even Jenny. Everyone would laugh at me for writing such a great man with such a silly suggestion." Grace thought. Mr. Abraham Lincoln's lips did not seem so